Hey everybody, I know it's been a little bit since I've had a video out. I want to go ahead and give you guys another update. I've changed how I'm trying to record this stuff a little bit to try to make it a little bit easier on me in recording and editing, and also make it to where you're not watching an hour-long video. But there's been some progress made, even behind the scenes without recording. And today you'll see a big step in the amount of progress that's made. We're still working on it, still have the goal of having this thing ready to go run and drive by August. So I think as long as I can kind of keep up now, we can make that happen. It's going to be cutting it close, but it should be able to make it happen. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. All right, so we are back. It is another day. I think it's actually been a week since I did my last little recording, but in an effort to try to keep these videos more short and sweet and kind of to the point, I'm going to try to be doing a lot of this little stuff, kind of updates, not really as much doing it unless there's something weird I come across. But we, as you can see here, this is the driver's side. We got the hub assembly all back together. This pretty much minus the caliper now is ready to have the wheel put back on. I'll probably end up putting the wheel on before I put the caliper back on, just to make it a little bit easier to move around, because right now I have it on that jack stand, and I've put like tire dollies under those before. It's kind of sketchy, so with it being this close, I'll go ahead and I'll get the wheel back on. The only thing that's really holding me back from putting that wheel on right now is the transmission and oh my word, if I can talk. Transmission and transfer case is not actually hard mounted to the frame yet. I do have it pretty much, I say it's not. I have 2 bolts in there. Not ideal by any means, but I got to drill another hole out right here. So as you can see right here, this is the original location of where this cross member mounts up. Because of me having the engine slid back a little bit further than stock, and the addition of that transmission, which I don't actually think there's a whole lot of difference in overall length between this, and so this originally came with a turbo 350. I don't think there's a ton of difference there. I don't know for sure. It's been a little bit since I've looked at those specs. And then this is a different transfer case than what came in. This is a 205, it came with a 203. So that's not gonna be a huge deal. We can there's still enough meat here on the frame rail to be able to drill and bolt that in, so it's not a huge deal. Thankfully, I was able to reuse this front one to kind of give it some spot to locate off of. Same thing over there. It's gonna be close, but there's enough meat there. Some other things since I last recorded. So I can't remember if I showed you guys, which it's really close there right now. I'm gonna fix that, but for the most part, I fixed a lot of the clearance issues with the headers. Driver's side's still like pretty much flawless. We got plenty of room. Passenger side up here, we got a lot better. Now, obviously down there where that shackle is, that's hitting, but that bolt is longer than stock, so I should be able to fix that. Other things is actually, I'll show you guys. This is my hack job clearance, which I could cut out more. As you can see here, I can cut all the way down, clearance it more, and be able to slide the engine forward. This was such a pain to do, and honestly, I'm kind of okay with where it's lining up anyways. I think even if I was to slide this all the way forward, I would still not be able to line up the original transmission crossmember bolts. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Obviously I'm gonna come back in and clean this up, because that's just kind of hack, just get it, see where I need to be and everything. So I'm gonna clean that up. Don't know yet if I'm actually going to weld in another support there or not. I'm not a welder by any means. I do not know actually if this is, obviously this took out strength. I don't know if it's enough that it's gonna cause problems. This is not, I say it's not a hot rod. This motor is kind of built like one in a way, and I say that just because the cam, everything else is bone stock about this, except for like all the accessory stuff. Internal is pretty much the same. Which, just a kind of refresher, basically LQ9, and it's got a Texas Speed BFD cam. So big cam for pretty much bone stock motor, except for accessories and whatnot. I'm not trying to race this thing or go off-roading, go crawling, all that kind of stuff. So I don't really know yet if that's gonna be an issue. I'm gonna think about that some more. If it ends up being a problem, I'll come back and I'll reinforce that there. But yeah, we got that on. I'm about to start on the passenger side. I may show you guys, there's a little bit of a trick I had to do to get that hub to actually go in. I say the hub, the manual locking hub. These are mile marker hubs. And I've heard different stories about, you know, these are no good, they're junk, don't get them. Always go with Warren. I've also heard people say, well, this is same quality as Warren anymore, and they're like half the price or something. Reason I got these is because these are the only ones available that I can get in the time frame I needed them. Like I've said, this is not going to be an off-road truck by any means, so they're really not going to get used a whole lot. They'll get locked in every once in a while to keep everything lubricated up, but you know, as far as the durability and whatnot, they're not going to get utilized a lot. So this might be a pretty good bang for buck situation. May work out for the best, because like I said, this is cheaper than the Warren. I was going for a Warren premium locking hub option, but these were available. They are cheaper, so that's nice. And they once I got it in there, it went together really well. It's just there were some things I had to finagle with that looking at videos did not really show, so I'll go ahead and kind of show you guys that now. All right, so I apologize in advance. I know this is not the best angle to be able to see what's actually happening, but I have the frame lowered down pretty much as low as I can get it right now. I'll just try to make it to where working on all the stuff on the engine was a little bit easier. But go ahead and go through putting this on, installing your manual locking hubs. I don't know how this is going to work for any of them, except for the mile marker hubs. Maybe different on other stuff, but just kind of something, you know. This is a little issue I had that I didn't see in a video, so I just kind of want to show it. They do say if you're doing this, and this is your first time too, like me, you don't actually pack these. They say to just kind of put a light coat of grease, oil, that kind of thing on there, keep everything lubricated up. It's actually in the mile marker, how basically the instructions on how to put this stuff on. It says on there that packing these actually causes more harm than good. So that's just something to keep in mind. I'm just going through and getting a nice little light skim coat of grease on there. Nothing too crazy. So I've already got grease in here, residual grease, so it's going to be fine in there. I'll go ahead and kind of show you guys, which maybe this side will go easier than the other side did. Already got my spindle nut and everything tightened down. Oh, if I can get a good angle to get all this. So you gotta kind of finagle it on there to get the inner splines of this to made up with your axle shaft. So it may take a second to kind of get it, which this one may prove even more difficult than the other side did. Which it appears that's what it's doing. It may be because I haven't turned so far. Sorry, I know I'm taking away y'all's view. I'll try to, I don't know how that's going to look on camera, but I'll at least give it a nice solid shot. So try to get that on there. Which, yeah, those inner splines are giving me a big headache on this one. I didn't have this problem on the other side. Okay. All right, so I got it on the, I don't know if y'all can see that or not. I got it on the inner splines. Now I got to get the outer one. Now this is where I had problems last time, because it's actually, the reason it's not going on just nice and smooth is it's somehow it's bound up. The rotor and hub assembly is kind of not 100% square with the axle shaft. So I want to see if I can get it or not. All right, so I discovered what was happening, why it was binding up, because I was starting to think, because this one was really bad, I was starting to think that somehow I got the two bearings, the inner and outer bearings, in a bind, and somehow kinked this over, wasn't square with that. What happened, and I'll get you all a little close-up of this, but what happened is I have greasable upper ball joints, and that grease dirt was hitting the U-joint and it was keeping the U-joint from being able to spin. It was putting the U-joint in a bind, so it was putting the whole axle shaft in a bind. And in doing that, it kicked the axle shaft over here down, or not, actually no, it kicked it up. So the locking hub couldn't seat all the way on the splines of the axle shaft, and then also mate with the splines on the hub itself. So I ended up, because I figured out kind of how this happened, because I was over here just messing around. I was spinning the yoke, basically the diff yoke, and it spun the driver's side. Well, when it spun it, I heard something fall on the ground. I looked over, it was the grease zerk for the upper ball joint over there. And I didn't think anything of it. Well, then I kind of got to looking at this one and noticed it had the same issue as a clearance issue. And sadly, I couldn't just spin the yoke on like I did for the driver's side. I had to actually, I came out with I had a sacrificial flathead, which I pretty much just almost destroyed. Have a little, where'd it go? Have a little sawzall, like a pneumatic sawzall, like a miniature one. So this was one of my grandpa's old tools that I inherited. I just saw it in his box and I was like, hey, I'll give that a shot. It probably would work with the right blade. This blade is pretty jacked up. But it wasn't making any progress. So then I finally pulled out the air chisel, and that made pretty quick work of it once I got the chisel set all the way on it. I'm going to have to figure out the solution for that at some point. Maybe grease it and then put a plug in instead of leaving that zerk in there, or zerk in there all the time. But yeah, so I was going to show you guys, because I thought I was going to have the same issue over here, but it actually ended up going really easily. But so I don't know if y'all can see that. I hope y'all can. I got it mated on the inner, or the axle shaft right now. Well, then I just kind of spin it around. I literally just had this go in like without any effort just a second ago, and now it's probably not going to do it. Probably got something in the bind again. But we'll see. Wow, I should have just left it in there instead of trying to. That's what I get for trying to show you guys. Oh, there it went. Okay, so it just had all that is this lining up with the splines in here, which you can't really see them. So that's all that is. It's kind of, I don't know why this is such a pain for me. I mean, it's my first time doing it. Maybe it's just, once you do it a little bit, you kind of have a better understanding how it works. But that's how it goes on. It shouldn't be a big fight to get it to go on. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the lock ring here and the retaining ring, which putting the lock ring in is a heck of a lot easier than taking the lock ring out. I understand the purpose of these. Do I wish that there was a better way thought of to do this? Absolutely. Because getting it out is awful. Go ahead and I'll just get one end started here. I'll try to make it to where you guys can see. We got that end in, so I'll go ahead and get that in, and then I'll just take a flathead, which this one actually seated all the way around. The other driver's side, I had to go in and kind of tap the flathead in there and make sure it. Oh, there it went. Oh. All right, so that's all the way seated. Now I just got to put the retaining ring on, which, oh, okay, good. I thought I forgot my pliers for a second. This is one thing, I've learned a lot on this whole project, that having the right tool makes a major difference. These made one of those major things. That, and also if you're rebuilding these, to get the races out for the bearings, get you either go to the parts store and get a loaner, or go somewhere, borrow somebody's, buy it. It doesn't matter, but get you a slide hammer and bearing puller. Even with that, this was still a pain. But yeah, doing that any other way, I can't even imagine. So we'll go ahead and get this on. I may have went too far back. I'm sorry if my big head's blocking the view. There we go. All right, that's all the way in. So that's good to go now. Now it's installing the caps. It's super easy. It's just all your little socket head cap screws. Just tighten them down. It has like an actual like torque spec in inch pounds. I do not have a bit. I have a torque wrench that will do the inch pounds. It's a 3/8 drive, but I do not have a bit that can fit that head. So it's something I think like 27 inch pounds or something. So it's nothing too crazy. I'm just going to do it by hand. But yeah, I want to kind of show you guys that because that was something I struggled with, and I feel bad about a lot of this stuff. It's not a pity of myself, but I have big plans for this and big goals, and I just never seem to be able to reach them. But it's because of little stuff like this that keeps slowing me down. Which by the time I'm done, I'll know how to do it. But no, it's still at times a little bit of a struggle. But you know, keep trucking along. That's one thing you learn as you get older. I'm not even old, but one thing I've learned is if you want to get it done, do it. You're the only one person that'll make it happen. All right, so we got the driver's side and passenger side hubs all done. So that all ended up working out. Obviously, y'all saw took a lot more effort than it probably should have, but you know, we learned. Now we know more about it, and if we ever have to do it again, now we know how to do it. I want to go ahead and show you guys because this was something I kind of had just waiting to go on. Man, I'm super stoked about how that turned out. So for just so y'all know, this is the original air cleaner that came on this truck. Now, when I say original, this truck originally was a 250 inline six truck. When I got it, it had a 350, a small block 350 in it, and this is the air cleaner that was on it. So may not actually be a straight up 100% original to the truck, but at least to me, it was original to it. Because I don't know, the inline six probably didn't come with the 4-barrel, but man, I found this guy on eBay that he can make these, and I'm super stoked about that turnout. So that's 364 cubic inches. That's what a 6-liter is. And then my engine builder estimated somewhere around 460 horsepower. So we had that on there. Now that turbo fire, that is a period correct designation for a Camaro, if I understand correctly. Obviously it's not a Camaro, but man, it makes all the difference to me. It's such a small little detail, which I don't have any centered on. It's not even bolted on. Obviously you can see I still have some stuff I need to do to the air cleaner itself, but man, I'm just super excited about how that turned out. I wanted to show you guys that while I had it on there, because I just sat on there maybe like 1 minute ago or something, and I took some pictures and sat back and was like, wow, that's a small little thing. Because whenever that's all done, we open up the hood, you see that. I mean, obviously there's some things that give it away as being a fuel injecting engine, but you see that and you may think, oh, you know, I mean, not just a sticker, but the whole thing, all of it together. You may think, oh man, that's just a small block, but then obviously you see details, fuel rails and whatnot, that it's not a small block. Or even for really savvy guys knowing that the exhaust port pattern is different on a small block versus a big block, and LS shares a similar style to that of a big block. But yeah, I just want to show you guys that because I was super excited about that. I'm going to go ahead and work on trying to get this transmission cross member all sorted, because once I get that, I can actually put the wheels on the front. I can't lift up the front yet because that cross member is supported by that jack stand. If I lift this up, it can get all wonk. I really don't want to do any of that. So we're going to get that all sorted and then see where we can go from there. All right, guys, so I got frame and everything pulled out from the garage. Wheels, I'm honestly super stoked with how the wheels came out. And just one little thing, because I'm a little details guy, I like how you can actually see the reflection of the spokes on the hub. I think that's kind of a neat little thing. I did scratch up this part of the hub putting the wheel on, but it's no big deal. I'm gonna try to make or get some center caps that can fit over this, cover that up. But yeah, I'm super happy with it all. I'm gonna start trying to get, because I mocked all this up. I don't have the flex plate and the torque converter put on, so I'm gonna go ahead and work on doing that. I'm also gonna work on maybe painting this thing today. my hoist. I've been borrowing the engine hoist for a long time, and they need it back. So I'm gonna try to get everything done that I need to use that for done. So I'm gonna try to use it to do this. Also, we destroyed that gasket that goes there when we put these together. It was just somehow we managed to do it. We got a perfect fit. The spines are all lined up, boom, right in. The gasket was not all the way on there, and it just sliced the gasket in half. So I got a new gasket, so I'm gonna work on doing that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna probably use a jack to get the transmission, get the weight of the transmission, and then take the hoist over here, wrapping around the transfer case, probably undo the bolts here and the cross member, pull the whole thing out, set it down, do what I need to do here. I'm probably going to try to paint this because the lime green, not huge in the lime green. So we'll get that, and we'll kind of see how well all that goes. If it goes anything like how things normally go for me, say if this is a 20-minute job for somebody, it'd take like an hour or an hour and a half for me. So, but yeah, we're going to work on that, and we'll get back to it. All right, so we got the transmission and transfer case, cross member all pulled off. Got the transmission sitting here drying because I was not going to live with the green paint. Took a little bit of finagling to get most of the transfer case out. The transmission was fairly easy, but I ran into a bit of a snag here. So this is a stock truck 6-liter flex plate. I don't know what changes between them throughout the years. I believe this either came off a LY6 or a LQ9, LQ4, that kind of thing. Because there's some bit of a mismatch. I had a Gen 4 originally that was, the block was junk. So we went to Gen 3. So I don't know which parts are which, because I don't know what changes between them. But this is an aftermarket TTC performance. I believe it's like Total Torque Chicago or something. 32 to 3500 RPM stall converter that is 404L80. I don't know what that is, but try to show you guys here. So we only have one bolt hole that lines up. This is my first time ever doing this, so I don't know if like you can drill out the flex plate for others, or if you need a whole different flex plate, that kind of thing. I don't know, but that's kind of my hold up right now. We will it's kind of a bummer because this means I can't actually put everything back together right now. I'm gonna have to put it back together and leave it, I should say. I'll probably put it back together for the time being, but it just kind of sucks. So yeah, just want to kind of update you guys with that. All right, you guys, so it's another day. I was out till about 9 o'clock last night working on this. At that point, I'd been working on it since 9 yesterday morning, so almost, well, I say almost, it was 12 hours of working on it, but we did manage to get it all buttoned back up and get it back together. I think I showed you guys, or talked to you guys about my flex plate fiasco. So the flex plate I had, I believe, was for a stock, a Gen 3 6-liter. I don't know that for a fact, that's just what I think. And it only had a single bolt pattern, it was 3 bolts. Did not match up with the torque converter I got. The torque converter was a 6-bolt pattern, and the pattern itself just did not match, regardless of it having more holes than what the flex plate had. So I ended up calling my my uncle. My uncle is like the parts guru of the family. He's a manager for an O'Reilly's, and called him and asked him about drilling out the flex plate, the one I had for this, and he did not recommend it. I mean, I have access to a CNC machine, so that would not have been a huge deal to do that if it would be okay. But his concerns were it being out of balance and everything, not really whether or not you get it lined up with the center pilot hole, but just that it would be out of balance. So he did end up checking for me. He just checked the O'Reilly's website for the flex plate that we needed. I talked to the engine builder too, and he told me exactly what it was. Like, you need a flex plate for a 2500 HD pickup. And so we got it all squared away. I I went down to O'Reilly's. They did not have one. Our local O'Reilly's did not have one, but AutoZone did. So we were able to get it. It was like I think it ended up after taxes, it was like a little under $100 to get it. But that meant that we could put it all together, and this does not have to come off again. So that was a big plus for me. Because this is such a pain to do it all. And plus, my parents, they ended up helping me last night. They were just coming over to say hi and ended up getting roped into helping me out for, it really ended up being like 2 hours. But we got it all in there. I think I showed you guys the cross members all done, the new holes drilled, that's on there. I did get the wrong gasket for this, so this does have to come back off, unfortunately. Just to put the gasket on. So I'm still in the process of trying to find that because this gasket was fairly easy to find, and that's the one I accidentally ordered again, but I gotta find another one of these. That's really the big holdup right now. But yeah, so that's really where we ended up. I don't know if I got to show you guys, and I'll go and show you all again, just a full preview of what all is there now. Really happy with how the wheels came out on here. I do still need to clean them some. They are dirty. They look pretty good on camera, but they're still fairly dirty, and there's just some little imperfections just with paint that I can fix pretty easily. But I'm happy with how they came out. I am gonna have to run spacers, fairly positive on that, to clear the calipers. I don't have the calipers on here yet. I need to go through those and make sure that they're still good. Otherwise, I need to get either new ones or remanufactured, but hopefully we don't have to go that route. But yeah, so that's probably going to be it for this video, because I've tried to collaborate a lot of stuff from working over the past couple weekends, try to condense it down as best I can. But we're going to keep going at it. Probably, I don't really know what the plan is for this week on it and this upcoming weekend. If I can get that stuff in and get that done. I do need to get the steering buttoned up so that the wheels actually stay turned together. It's kind of a pain right now to push this even on the dollies with the wheels getting all disoriented and everything, but we'll get that figured out. Shouldn't be a huge deal, but get that, and you know, probably I'll check to make sure I don't need to do any more clearance in here. Don't worry, I am cleaning that. I may have already mentioned that, but we're going to clean that up, make it look nicer, and make sure that the dampener fits. If it does fit, we're good. I don't have to clear anymore. Then we're going to put that on, get this buttoned up here, go ahead and put our core support and radiator in, and you know, it's just kind of becomes putting it back together at that point. We will start working on the body soon. That'll be a big project, be a big learning experience there. A lot of metal work for the floors. That's really about it though. So thankfully it's in the floors. I can learn on that, and you won't be able to see it really. So if they're boogered up welds, it's not going to be a huge thing. I'm going to try my best on it, obviously, but the best, you know, sometimes lack of experience just will get to you. So it'll be a learning experience, but we're going to get it, and it'll be structurally solid by the time it's done. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned for more. I promise I will be doing more videos. I don't know when they will be, but there will be more. Thanks you guys, and we'll see you next time.